The special court was, although I could not say at the time, I was always against it, but because I have, of course, had to present the view of the Dutch government. But even so, but that special court was, of course, created based on, if there had really been this organ trafficking, it would really have been horrible if that had been the case. But as Williamson's reporter said it was not the case, then it was still very strange that they continued. And it will cost, of course, it does cost, of course, the European taxpayer an enormous amount of money. And probably there are crimes committed, but I mean, there are crimes committed in many conflicts in the world, and there are not special courts for every conflict. I mean, the worst is, of course, the worst that we have had is the IS. Is there any special court for the IS? Those crimes that were committed, according to me, they were the most horrific that I can imagine. So I do not know why this court, this very expensive court, is still necessary if the main reason, the organ trafficking, doesn't exist. I do not know, because as I'm retired, I'm not in that many of the circles, so I cannot say much. I know, of course, this initiative of Rama to bring this whole thing once more to the Council of Europe, I think is a nice initiative. Only I'm afraid it will fail, because, you know, it would mean that the Council of Europe will have to say, okay, we made a mistake. So maybe it would have been better, I do not know, better to come with a new resolution, instead of criticizing the old report, but to come with a new resolution, maybe, I do not know. I don't know if it's coordinated, but at least it's happening. Albania and Kosovo are working quite actively to do something about this court. But I guess it's coordinated. I hope it's coordinated, but I do not know. But as we know, the relations between the two leaders of the countries are not 100%, to put it mildly, which is also a pity. Normally speaking, I think 2 years is the maximum that you can have for pretrial detention, and if you have then still no accusations, you should stop. And especially if it comes from internationals who should have the example of how honest trials are being made, then it should also be an example, and not, as I said, not put people in jail for such a long time, in pretrial detention for such a long time, when there is not even an indictment. No indictment.